Yeah, I want to make a video dedicated to the containers themselves, the plastic containers or whatever they're made out of. I want to make a video explaining to you that the moment you see a plastic container, you know which side to use, you know how to approach it, you know how to make a cement planter out of this. So this guy here is burnt. You can see that it's probably made 20, 15, 30, whatever the number is. It's made a bunch of planters already. And the skin is very tired. So I could come in here with car wax and wash this out first, then put car wax and polish it to get this shiny again. So this is the way you have to look at every situation. What planter makers really underestimate is the release process, meaning getting this planter out of here. They always underestimate it. Doesn't matter how good you are at this, getting the cement or the concrete planter out of the mold is always the biggest struggle if you don't plan the right pathway. Okay, so this is day 3 in the morning, and this is the moment of truth. We're going to flip this over, see how hard it is to get this out. Si puede caer, hombre. Levántate, Rodrigo. Plástico. Se fue. ¿Tienes tus dedos afuera? Yeah. Okay, the release was easy. So I could come on the outside, for example, put the cement fabric here.
These cement fabrics are so easy to use. This will definitely be the future of making DIY planters.
And leave a slit. So what that means is I could put 2 pieces of fabric on both sides and leave this open and then just pry it off. Then I would have the 2 shells. I could glue them together with another piece of fabric. So what I'm trying to give you as a person who makes planters, options, how you can deal with the planter or the casing that you have in front of you, how you can deal with it in 10 different ways, and you can pick the best solution on how to solve it. Now, if I made this planter with the sand fill method, where I basically build a layer around the outside, I would have a hard time getting it out just because the surface is so worn out. So be careful on how you approach the release process of every planter you create. This guy, and by the way, this is a manufacturer in Ecuador. He makes these great shapes and planters. This guy's had maybe 5 or 6 planters go through the inside, and it's still shiny enough, especially if you oiled this up and lubed it up. It's still shiny enough to make a couple more planters with the sand fill method. Watch the videos on the sand fill method. That's one of the best ways to make planters. You would need the manpower to flip this over, and you would need to make this exactly where it's going to end up. So you would cast it in place, flip it over, take the shell out, and flip it back over exactly where it's going to end up. So make sure you have a couple of these big containers to make planters because they're exceptionally useful in the garden. So this planter here probably is, if you bought them wholesale, maybe 23 cents, 27 cents. I would basically do this, and I would put the cement around the outside of this, possibly the inside. And this is flexible enough for me to manipulate it to get it to come out. So you have this hard plastic and soft plastic, which really changes your attitude towards how are you going to use these to make concrete planters. Do you put it on the outside? Do you put it on the inside? If I filled up the inside here, this would be incredibly tight. I couldn't get it really out. But if I made the material on the outside like this, I could basically bend it inwards of bending it and shaping it so the flexible plastic comes out. Now, this guy is very interesting because it has an exaggerated angle. This angle is very exaggerated, meaning that if I were to layer cement here, this would come out quite easy because of this exaggerated angle helping me getting the shell out of the cement itself. So we're very fortunate that these companies that make these big containers, they have the same issue we have when we make our cement planters. They have to get this out of an injection mold. So basically look for the angles on this. Two things I want you to look for. Look for the angle being as steep as it can be. This is a really good example. There's like 4 inches down there. Here it's more like 2 inches. Then number two, look how shiny or how pliable. I don't know how to describe it. You can just feel with your hand that the inside is very slippery. If you're going 90 degrees, like completely flat with no slope, make sure you can release this planter from the outside. So if you can take this apart and get rid of the wood from the outside, that slope is irrelevant because you have access to the outside of the planter. Now I want to talk about fabric versus concrete. So I'm really leaning towards creating fabric shells now. And what I mean by that is I'll encapsulate something with fabric. And then what I'll do is I'll basically take the fabric out, put the planter away. Now I've got the fabric shell, and I'll decorate the fabric shell, which is a lot easier than getting this out afterwards. Cement fabric opens up all kinds of avenues for anyone who wants to make planters. You can really take advantage of this and end up creating a whole bunch of shells that you can make later on. I've learned now that I need to go to 4 layers of fabric to get it to be strong. This guy here, we have a video on how we made this. So basically, it's a spent plastic shell. This has been used so many times that it's, especially on the inside, the cement has actually burnt the texture of this. It's not terrible. I could probably still get something out of this. But instead, I made a silicone shell. And I can paste cement on this easily. I can put fabric on this easily. I can do so many things with this just because I know that that's how easy the release is going to be. This plastic shell and the silicone will separate themselves very, very easily. This here is a professional. I made this. This is a silicone mold that has a professional casing, that has a spot where you line up every time. So the mold will sit perfectly in place every time. So this is the next level of mold making, where you're basically just flipping it over, taking the shell out again, and the silicone, you peel it off the planter and you're set up. This here is a wooden mold that is very good because I could wrap this in fabric. I could wrap this just with cement, and basically I could create my shape, demold it, and decorate it at a later date, which means that I don't have to worry about getting the shell out because I've gotten the fabric out. We've made a couple of videos like that already. So when you're making this cut off pyramid shape, make sure you really keep this angle quite generous. If you keep this angle quite generous, you can get this planter out. Now, when you're putting cement on the edge of here, this plastic is quite shiny, so you need a good, rich mix for it to stay in place. So remember that when you're laying it up. The next thing is when you're laying fabric onto any planter or any shape, make sure to do this. Go from side to side and have it over the top. Because what happens is this will never slide down on you. Because if you do overlap it like this area on top is going to hold it in place. And when this holds it in place, it doesn't matter how much pressure is coming on both sides. This surface area will hold these areas taut in place. This is one of my favorite planters. This is old tires. You can order these online. Basically, what I do is I fill them up with sand. I flip them over quickly, and I just tap it gently so the sand pushes out. I cut off the handles, and basically this is a prime target just to plaster over top of, just because it has a rough surface and everything sticks to this nicely. Let's say I finish this planter off, this one. All I needed to do would be to flip it over, drop out all the sand, flip it over, and then look at this. I can peel it away. The cement will remain here. So I can basically gently pull this out of place. And that's the difference between a hard shell planter and a soft shell planter. It makes a big difference when you can just basically pull this away and get the insides out. The cooking oil will do its job as long as it's entering the fabric of the rubber. Está cayendo. Okay. Okay, so this flexible mold is inside. So I'm going to start to peel it away. You see how easy this opens up? Way better. Here we go. I can't stress enough, you have to understand that getting the planter out of the shell is the hardest part of making concrete planters. This guy here is a very borderline setup because this angle isn't too steep, but it still comes out because I've made a couple from this side and I made a recent one with the clay from this side. So this shape is very suitable, especially if you clean it up and keep it nice and polished with oil, with cooking oil, come out quite easily. So pay attention to that. And this is from the same turtle company that makes these recycled. See how little flex it has? So I have to really rely on the planter to come straight out. I can maybe just flex it just a little bit to let it go, but this is a tricky one to come in and out. Okay, so let's say I have 50 of these lying around. They're split, they're broken. So all I can do with this is if I were to put cement around here, or if I were to take a smaller one, there's so many videos where they have the Home Depot pails where they put two inside here. Guess what? They never ever get them out. They have to sawzall them, smash them, chisel them out. They don't come out. So the idea is this guy, where you're basically leaving the plastic pail inside the container and you're decorating the outside of it. So you would put a Bondex on here or something that's very sticky, prefabricated concrete or cement. You would basically get this all covered up. Then you would make your decoration, uh, final touches on the edges, and the planter's done. The container will stay inside forever. So that's the other option of something that costs, let's say, 75 cents. You don't really mind losing that 75 cents by just basically putting the planter over top of this and not trying to release it. So there's all these options with soft plastic, hard plastics, recycled plastics, and they're all really good options for making cement planters. Now there's another scenario where you have these plastic containers that are busted up. You have to sort of make up your mind, am I going to take it to the recycling depot or I'm going to turn this into a concrete planter? It's a very little use to me. So basically I would just cover this with cement and turn it into a planter. There are so many different hard shell materials now, and the manufacturer always puts in a decent slope for this to come out. And you have to, when you buy these, look at that slope. Just take a visual of, is it 2 inches that it comes out, 3 inches, and buy containers that have a bigger slope. This is very interesting because it retains its shape incredibly well. You have to cut off the handles. This is made by Kangaroo. And when you basically put that on the table and you smear this up with a bonding agent and then cement, guess what? Again, super easy to get out. If you do the inside, the pressure is equal and it might be very hard to get out. So again, make sure to pay attention to the container itself and use the container's characteristics to your advantage when you're making concrete planters.